Hi there, Michael here. It might seem like there hasn't been much happening in immersive audio over the last few weeks, but that's just on the surface. In reality, there's been a ton of important innovation happening outside of the public eye, and today's list is your teaser for what's coming. I've got 4 important developments to share with you. Novanodes just dropped some crucial format updates. Audio Brewers released their game-changing beamforming decoder. Eclipse Audio finally became accessible to everyday creators, and Apple's new spatial audio format is redefining how we think about interactive spatial audio. And between you and me, come closer, a little bit closer. Yeah, that's fine. There's another big announcement on the horizon that could revolutionize immersive music production at a completely different level, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, so I have to save that for another day. Most of these developments deserve its own deep dive, and that's exactly what you'll be getting over the coming weeks. But for now, let's take a quick look at what's been brewing behind the scenes and why you should be excited about where immersive audio is heading. Novanode's 3DX update. I'd like to start this video with a quick look at some updates coming out of Novanodes. Last week I talked about their AI-based beatmaking plugin, which quite frankly has received mixed opinions, but that's true for anything using AI these days. But Novanodes is primarily known for their immersive panning and binaural rendering plugins, and it shouldn't go unmentioned that these plugins have received a relatively minor but incredibly important update. Both 3DX as well as the HBL binaural renderer now support 9.1.6 and 7.1.6 speaker configurations. This is something I've been waiting for a while, and I'm definitely going to make use of it in upcoming videos, even though I'm probably not going to do its extra video because it's just a minor update. New Audio Brewers plugins. If you have been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of Audio Brewers and their Ambisonics plugins. Now they have recently released 2 new plugins that I have not yet talked about. The first one is the advanced higher order Ambisonics Visualizer, which is a cutting-edge diagnostic tool that gives you a precise, multifaceted look inside your Ambisonics sound field. I haven't covered this on my channel yet because it didn't really justify an entire video. After all, what can you say about a visualizer that hasn't already been said? The advanced higher order Ambisonics Visualizer excels at making complex spatial information easy to understand by offering several distinct views. A spatial visualizer shows the overall shape and loudness of your mix. An energy visualizer pinpoints where sound sources are located, and a dimensional loudness analyzer provides detailed true peak, peak, and RMS metering for each axis. And while I do not intend to create a separate video for this plugin alone, unless you guys ask me to do that in the comments, wink wink, there is a very high likelihood that this plugin will pop up in some of my future videos on this channel. The second release I haven't yet covered, primarily because it was just released the day before I'm recording this video, is their advanced higher order Ambisonics decoder. And what makes this new plugin so special is its inclusion of an entirely new and fairly innovative beamforming algorithm. So what exactly is beamforming in Ambisonics? Well, think of your Ambisonic recording not as a finished audio file, but as a complete 360-degree sonic snapshot, a full sphere of sound. Beamforming is a technique that lets you go back into that snapshot and create a virtual microphone that you can point in any direction you want, long after the recording is done. It mathematically combines all the channels in your Ambisonics file to isolate just the sound coming from one precise spot. This gives you an incredible power to focus on a single line of dialogue, a specific instrument, or any sound you want to pull out of a complex environment. Ultimately, what this means for you is control. With a powerful beamforming algorithm like the one in the new Audio Brewers decoder, you're no longer a passive listener to your Ambisonic recording, you're an active explorer. You can use it as a problem solver to clean up dialogue or as a creative tool to deconstruct a soundscape and rebuild it in a Dolby Atmos mix, for example. I plan to release a video about the different beamforming plugins out there and how they compare in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, I recommend that you check out the excellent videos on the Audio Brewers YouTube channel where Alexandro walks you through the ins and outs of the beamforming algorithm. I'll leave some links in the description below. Eclipse Audio plugins. Eclipse Audio is a relatively new and completely open source approach to spatial audio. The big idea here is to make creating true 3D immersive sound accessible to everyone for free. It's all built on a new royalty-free standard called IAMF, that's the Immersive Audio Model Format, which was developed by the Alliance for Open Media with major input from companies like Google and Samsung. This means that you can finally create and distribute professional-grade spatial audio without worrying about expensive licenses or closed ecosystems. So far, I've held off on making an Eclipse Audio tutorial because the workflow had been extremely technical without any reasonably usable plugins to work with. Now, this has now changed with the release of the Eclipse Renderer and the Eclipse Element plugins. The way this works is that the renderer is the central hub or main mixing board for your entire 3D soundscape. It's where you monitor everything and export your final immersive file. The Element plugin is what you place on your individual tracks or buses to connect them to that renderer, essentially telling each sound where it belongs in the 3D space. The whole system is designed to be lightweight and slot right into digital audio workstations like Pro Tools and Reaper, promising a true what you hear is what you get experience. Now this opens up Eclipse Audio to a much wider range of creators, so expect a couple of Eclipse Audio videos from me over the coming weeks and months. I'm particularly excited about Eclipse Audio's support within YouTube and will most likely make a special video just about that integration. Apple Spatial Audio Format. Another interesting development in the immersive audio space comes from Apple with the introduction of the Apple Spatial Audio Format, or ASAF for short. Now this takes a completely different approach to how we think about creating and delivering spatial audio experiences. So what's the big idea behind Apple's new spatial audio format, or ASAF, or let's call that ASAF, not quite sure how to pronounce that. Instead of thinking about a final audio mix, imagine you are creating a complete interactive sound world. ASAF isn't just audio, it's a package that combines high-quality sound with a huge amount of metadata, and that includes information about how each sound should behave, its direction, and even the virtual room it's in. This allows a device like the Apple Vision Pro, for example, to render the audio in real time, making it react not just to your head movements, but to your environment, which is a massive leap from traditional fixed audio formats. Inside DaVinci Resolve, this approach changes how you mix. You're not just placing sounds in speakers, you're designing sonic behaviors. The workflow is incredibly flexible, letting you combine traditional channel-based pads for things like music, dynamic objects for sounds that need to move precisely, and even full ambisonic scenes for immersive atmospheres. You get to define an object's size, its orientation, and even simulate the room acoustics around the listener, giving you a level of control that feels more like game audio design than a standard film mix. What this means for you is that your audio is no longer locked in place. Your mix becomes a responsive environment that adapts to the listener, not just a static recording. Now this was just a quick overview of the general approach, and I know you're going to want to see exactly how this works inside of DaVinci Resolve Fairlight. My current plan is to make more detailed tutorials covering the entire workflow over the coming weeks, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch those. And that's everything for today. As you can see, there's some genuinely exciting stuff happening in the immersive audio world right now, and I'm looking forward to diving deeper into some of those tools in upcoming videos. If you want to follow along on the journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you found this video interesting, I'd appreciate a like. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments below or come chat with us on our Discord server. There's an invite link in the description. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.